Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We provide fan-oriented and analytic discussions on a variety of animated shows, movies, and anime, including Steven Universe, Gravity Falls, Star Wars Rebels, and Moonbeam City. I'm Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Sam Quattro.
Hey.
Today, Sam and I will be discussing the latest episode of Steven Universe Too Far. Yeah, you can check out everything about this podcast at overlyanimated.com. We talk about Steven Universe every week, which might not be next week because apparently this might be the last episode this month.
That's the word on the Tumblr.
That's the word on the Tumblrs. Brief podcast today. It's kind of time constrained, and
baseball.
Good baseball game starting soon. Very quickly, Cartoon Network sucks, and they pulled a Nick. They changed the time slot in the week that the show was airing. They apparently did not inform the crew because the crew was circulating a post having 5:30 as the time slot, and I just don't understand why these networks continue to do this terrible scheduling. And it's like, regardless of whether or not it's bad business, it's awful to your fans. This is something Nick constantly did with Korra. It's something Disney did with Gravity Falls a few weeks ago, and just all three networks are the worst. I don't know. I used to think Cartoon Network was the best of them, but no.
But now they're the worst.
Definitely, they're also the worst now, so that's great. Okay, let's get into Too Far. Storyboard and directed by Hillary and Lauren. Sam, what did you think of this episode?
I liked it a lot. I feel like I say that about every episode.
Yeah.
Peridot is like you're like really I don't know what the word would be.
I don't know what you're going for.
Really not accepting family member who you see at like Thanksgiving sometimes.
She's the bigoted uncle, yeah.
Yeah. But she's learning.
Except she's more like the bigoted uncle from overseas or something that just doesn't understand how things work here. It's like that, right? Yeah, but you liked it?
I did. I really like spending that time with Amethyst and like, I don't know. I like that Amethyst says nerd because I said nerd a lot. But yeah, I like spending the time with Amethyst and getting more like an insight about the home world and like how things are quote unquote supposed to be.
Yeah.
And seeing like sort of why the crystal gems rebelled and stuff. So. Yeah,
just such a rigid caste system, which we'd kind of got an impression of last episode, and it continues there. Yeah, wow, 2 for 2 this show, 2 weeks in a row. This episode's incredible. I didn't expect to, I don't expect to react to the show as like consistently well, because we've kind of had ups and downs, but this, I loved last week's. It might have been the 4th best episode of the show, and I think this one is probably maybe top 10. It was really great. I absolutely love Amethyst and Peridot's interactions. This was probably the best episode for both characters, maybe of the entire series. Like, Amethyst was really good here. We've kind of talked about how Amethyst is the least developed of the 3 crystal gems, right? And This was a great showcase for her. We learn a lot about the circumstances involving her in kindergarten, and we learned just a lot about her kind of insecurities and stuff like that.
Every funny guy's got a serious side.
Yeah, exactly. And we kind of been seeing that. We saw that from Amethyst with when Pearl and Garnet were fighting, right? And she was in the middle, and she was pretty serious, and that was great. Also of note, this is apparently we are getting the Zuko field trip week with Peridot instead of Zuko. This is the Amethyst episode. Last week was the Pearl episode, and now it's time for the Garnet one next time, I guess. I was a little skeptical at first of the decision to have Peridot, kind of team with them so quickly. I like how they've been handling it, though. I think it's realistic, and I think it's been a great way to explore gem homeworld structure and mythology, and also the get into kind of some of the insecurities about our gems, about the homeworld. And it's just been great 2 weeks in a row. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how this episode is as good as it is, really. Like, this is when the show it's just when this is the show at its most impressive to me. It's like
Peridot is on a child leash for most of the episode.
She is on a leash, yeah. Okay, so let's start with what we learn about Amethyst here, because that's kind of the most significant mythology wise to the show. So Amethyst is apparently a quartz. Did we know this?
No.
So
is that correct in terms of geology?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
But rose quartz is presumably a quartz. right?
Yeah, yeah. I read
So does
this. Is,
is the rose as a diamond theory dead this episode?
I actually read another theory today. It
What
was
is
like,
it?
yeah, Rose is still like the diamond, but she took the name Rose Quartz to like sort of
Oh,
be
okay.
like with the common people.
Interesting. Is her gem? Have we analyzed Rose's gem yet? Like Steven's gem? Is it a? Do we know if it's a quartz or something?
I don't.
I don't know.
I'm not a diamond
We have
rose
to we
person.
have to look in the
It
meta
doesn't
text.
really look like a rose quartz, like a rock. You know,
Yeah,
like I've seen that. Like how do you
I don't
like
know. I don't
the
know what it is.
mineral? It doesn't look like that.
Yeah,
Like
it's
that gem is like more of like a deep, like the rose one is like more pale, and Stevens and Roses is more like
Do
intense.
we know what gem Jasper is?
Uh, it's apparently some type of gem.
Because I think Jasper would make sense as a quartz. Because this give I don't know if that's true or not. This episode gives the impression that the quartzes are the warrior class of the homeworld. Um, yeah, so like Amethyst was supposed to be you're a quartz, huge loyal soldier, broad shoulders, intimidating. Says Peridot, and apparently Amethyst
No
is too
wonder
small.
why they have similar hair.
Oh, Jasper and Amethyst. Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah, I could totally see Jasper as a quartz. Um, and they're just it seems like they're using Earth to populate their warrior class. We know they're a warring planet, so that makes a lot of sense. And Amethyst came out 500 years after the all the other quartzes, and so there's no she didn't know any of the other quartzes that were being created along with her, which makes a lot of sense, I think, with what we've seen of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She came out of the ground.
That's really interesting. I'd never thought of Amethyst like supposed to be bigger before, but that makes a lot of sense because why else would they be trying to create Amethyst, right? Like there's nothing super
Yeah,
distinctive
like
about her.
when you look at the kindergarten, hers is the only hole that's like on the ground,
Interesting.
like
Yeah.
level to the ground. You know,
Yeah. What do you think of this? What do you think of this whole development plot wise?
I like it.
Yeah. Do you like this for Amethyst character?
I feel like it's like somewhere to like go with her. Like, now I guess she has to face this thing where like maybe she is defective in some people's eyes, and maybe that's something that she has to deal with later on whenever we battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just yeah.
Basically, everybody has all the like crystal gems sort of have their incentives against the
Against,
homeworld.
yeah, for sure. And and like the extended theme, Amethyst was kind of the most sketchy, right? It's like Earth is the only place I've ever known, but Pearl and Garnet have like clear, very firm motivations. You could see
And Amethyst
Amethyst.
is just like, I'm born. I was born here. You
Yeah,
guys.
but now I totally see it. Like, what the other, if she goes back to the homeworld, she'll be like discarded, probably, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So that's I like adding this. I'm with you. I just like having something for Amethyst. I'm not sure the I'm not sure Rebecca Sugar saw it the same way, but I feel like she was clearly the least developed of the crystal gems, and I'm very happy with
yeah.
this development and getting a lot more for her. I also just love her interactions here with Peridot. Like it's so like sympathetic how like Peridot comes to enjoy Amethyst laughing at her, and it's like, oh, it's Peridot's making like a friend who she sees as an equal. It's pretty cute.
Yeah. Also, they had that little moment
What moment?
where like Peridot like falls on top of Amethyst.
Yeah, I don't know.
Cause-
Are you saying that this is a new ship?
It is. Yeah.
I
I'm not
mean-
saying that I personally ship it, but it is.
People are just gonna ship Peridot with anyone, but I guess
Ship everybody with like. Have you heard? Pewee is a thing.
Pewee.
They're doing Pearl.
No, thank you. I mean, that's like at least something that's like one-sided on the show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I just like them as their interactions. I like it, even if it's kind of a problematic view from Peridot in that she sees Amethyst as the only quote unquote legitimate gem, right? She's like Garnet's a fusion, Pearl is a pearl, but you're the only like real gem among them.
But you're like a runt and you're defective.
Yeah, and even though she's defective, she's still like the highest rank, clearly the highest ranking. And even her apology at the end, I love what they do with Peridot here. It's like they're never making Peridot too unrealistic in terms of her in terms of her motivations and overcoming her previous prejudices. Even her big apology at the end is still basically like, I upset the clearest high ranking gem. I obviously shouldn't have done that, right? So it's doing bad. It's how she relates doing bad to whatever it is in her mind. She probably wouldn't have felt the need to apologize to either of the other two. It was just in the circumstance. And even though, and like, despite it being clearly kind of this bad thing for, not a bad thing from our perspective, in Peridot keeps her caste system prejudices, and she's still looking at Amethyst in terms of a social hierarchy, and that's why she needs to apologize. It's still sympathetic because we see the emotions behind that, and we kind of see beyond. This episode makes us see beyond these initial prejudices into seeing Peridot's actual feelings here, and I think it's very successful with that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's I don't know, just that's just what's so remarkable about it. I think this characterization of Peridot is beyond anything I thought they'd do with her, and it's just really impressive to me.
Well, she's the new Zuko.
I mean, well, that's the thing is, like, Zuko just had the best character arc I've ever seen before he had this like transformation, and he was already set up to have these incredible interactions with all the main cast. And Peridot was like not really a character that much before this. She was kind of funny when we saw her. She was
like the straw villain.
Yeah, she was just like the villain who was like the bumbling, henchman and stuff like that. And now she's becoming a real character as she interacts with the main cast, and it's creating some incredibly strong interactions on both sides. Some of the strongest I think we've seen in the series, of character to character interactions.
Yeah.
Do we have other? I mean, the rest of the we've kind of hit on the main points. A lot of the other parts of the episode are just funny things Peridot says in the beginning, which I liked.
Like, what is it? What would the word be? Fusion-phobic,
yeah, towards Garnet, which is seemingly setting up something. Hopefully next episode.
God.
Yeah, it's that's the type of thing I like. I love that we're not discarding this side of Peridot. My big worry is that, okay, we're just doing the Peridot becomes quote unquote good arc. We're just gonna, unrealistically change this super prejudiced character, prejudiced in terms of like views against Earth. And that's not happening. It's still very much within the character we set up previously for her.
Yeah.
What do we have here?
The Amethyst and the Steven.
The Amethyst and the Steven. Continued, yeah. It's interesting because she calls her the Amethyst, so it's not like it's the courts, right? So there must be multiple Amethysts within the hierarchy of multiple courts.
I want to meet all of... I'm so excited to go to the homeworld, like, meet all these, like, multiple pearls and, like, amethysts.
Oh, well, we'll have to wait, like, 5 years for that, probably, until we go to the homeworld. I don't think we're going to the homeworld this season, any chance, and next season probably either.
But we could still see somebody.
I mean, I think the end of the season we'll have more gems from the homeworld coming.
I mean, evidently... pearls are like fashion accessories, so
yeah, that's super interesting.
Maybe Yellow Diamond has one.
Yellow Diamond could come. Oh, that's totally what's gonna happen, right? When we Yellow Diamond, she's gonna come down with her own pearl. Yeah. That's oh man, that's gonna be so good. I can't wait for that. Yeah. I don't know. I wrote down all the quotes from this week. We could go through a lot of Peridot quotes. Yeah, we had the stuff with the drill happening at the end. Another good Steven episode here. Stronger last episode, but still.
Steven has super strength.
Oh, was there some more evidence for that here? I don't know. Is anything he did like that?
He ripped the console.
He did rip the console. Okay, yeah. I think your theory on this is right. It's
not it's Tumblr's theory. I'm just like supporting it.
The Sam endorsed Steven super strength theory.
Yep.
Yeah, there you
go.
By
Tumblr user, I don't remember.
By Tumblr user, indiscriminate. What do you... Yeah, so Peridot's apology at the end, we talked about that. And Amethyst, what do you think of Amethyst's reaction to everything?
Amethyst was kind of mean. Like, she was laughing at Peridot, like, dissing Garnet and Pearl. That kind of... Yeah,
I didn't see it as... unsympathetic from Amethyst. It was just like she was treating it as like a roast or something like that. It's not. I think it was clear Amethyst didn't mean it like badly. She just likes laughing at people. Yeah, so that's just her kind of personality.
But yeah, Amethyst.
And also, yeah, and Peridot says you can do everything a normal quartz could do to Amethyst, which is interesting.
Like,
Which,
you're small.
it should imply that Amethyst would be able to take on Jasper if we're right about Jasper being a quartz. And it didn't seem like that in the finale of last season.
Jasper is really big.
Jasper is very big.
Bigger, like, so much bigger than Garnet. And then this is, so big. Also, like, when Peridot was talking about Garnet being a fusion in the kindergarten, and, like, there was hand motions involved.
Oh yeah, it was totally looked like sex, right? Yeah.
Yes.
That's some of the most blatant analogies that we've had from
two
this,
rocks just hitting each other. That's how gems are made. Kids.
Yeah, one rock goes inside the other rock. That's how it works, right?
Oh yeah. No.
Oh, we saw it in the preview from last week, but the Peridot screaming "That's your butt" after saying everything. That's so funny. Like that's like that's almost it's like it would belongs on another Cartoon Network show, but it was still really funny.
I like touch stumps. I think that's my favorite.
Touch stumps, vision seer, sponge, gravity connectors. Yeah. You're killing me. No, I'm not. That would violate our truce agreement. So good. All of that. That scene was really, really good.
And Pearl's just like singing and crying, apparently.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love lampshading the show. It's like spontaneously singing and crying. Yeah, that is what happens with Pearl a lot. I agree. That was very, very nice addition.
And Pearl's just gonna put seatbelts in the drill.
Oh yeah, we'll build it better. Seatbelts. That was the Amethyst. That was the incorrect response. Says Peridot after Amethyst doesn't laugh. Yeah. No, I was being cool. Okay, I just love their interactions in this and how like how Peridot wants to. It's trying to likes fitting in with Amethyst even if she doesn't like think the group is legitimate or anything like that. She still has like the social kind of predilections for that type of thing. It's just all of it so good. Any other points you think we haven't talked about?
No, we hit on the fantastic bigots.
Fantastic bigotism, yeah.
If that is a word.
Do you still have a positive perception of Peridot after this episode?
I mean, I still think that she's like cute and like she does cute things, but like
it's hard not to like to be sympathetic towards her, even if you know that she's just wrong on a lot of things. You know, it's like you understand where she's coming from.
I don't know if I do, but
well, it's just preconceived notions. You don't. I don't know. I think the show makes it clear why she is the way she is. And gives us reasons to be sympathetic towards her.
It's not her; it's the society.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, and even if it's like we're seeing directly how that works in terms of her. Like usually you can like say, oh, it's society, it's not them. Yeah, but you don't actually see the direct one-to-one correlation between that, so it's hard to see that as an actual explanation in terms of like our world. But here we're seeing it actually apply for Peridot.
I just want to go to the home world.
Not happening yet. I'm very positive on Peridot after this episode. I think this is the best Peridot episode, but one of the best Amethyst episodes. What would you grade it on the AV Club scale? A to F. I would give this an A. Solid A.
I thought we were saying that we weren't going to grade.
Well, I'm not making you do my complicated 10-point scale. I haven't read Eric Thurm's review. It just went up. He gave it an A.
A-.
He gave it an A. I think this might be one of my top 10 episodes in the entire show.
It's like a 90. Oh, it's an A- at my old high school.
Okay, that's a
92 or 91. I think 91 might be a B. 92.
91 should not have been a B at your school. That should be an A-. Okay, anyway, I'm Dylan Hysen, that's Sam Quattro. You can find everything about this podcast at overlyanimated.com. You can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thanks to our current patrons, Shayna, Mitch, Cordell, Beatrice, Nate, Andy, and Jamie. So yeah, short podcast tonight, but we're time constrained anyway. Let us know what you thought of Too Far, and thanks for listening. We'll see you next time, guys. Bye.